We're live.
We're live.
We're live. Welcome to HQ Live today. I'm Kim Sandberg, and with me today is...
I'm Kristina Whitney.
We're studio educators here at Handy Quilter, and today we are so excited to introduce you to the Moxie family with a special new addition today that we're going to be talking about a little bit later on. So Kristina, let's tell everybody about the Moxie family. How about if we start with the original Moxie?
Okay, the original Moxie came out a few years ago.
Yep.
It was designed to be budget friendly and also a little bit smaller for people that were limited on space. So this is a great entry level machine. This machine has a 15-inch throat space. So it is a fantastic entry level machine. And it also comes with the frame.
Yep.
And Kim, you've got something fun over there.
Yeah, so we wanted to show you guys this. So every Moxie comes with it, every Moxie that's in the Moxie family comes with this Moxie accessory kit. And there's a few extra fun things that when we were designing the machines, working with the sorry, I'm getting
And we are live.
I love this. Forgot to silence my watch there. Sorry about that. So they added a few extra fun things here in the accessory kit that we want to show you because, you know, quilting should be fun, right? So when I opened this up here, one of the things I absolutely love that we did was we included a decal sheet. In other words, stickers, because stickers are really fun.
Yep.
So if we do a little bit of a close up here, one of the fun things about this is we actually added 2 extra stickers here that you put on the frame to remind you which pole has your quilt top on it and which one has the backing and the right way to turn it.
Yeah, because that gets a little confusing sometimes.
It does.
So,
it really, really does.
Okay, what else do we have in
We
there?
also have this great quick reference card that comes in here. And this is awesome when you're getting started quilting because it has all the basics on it. It talks about needles. It shows you how to thread your machine. And on the back, it walks you through all the different icons on the screen and what they mean so that you can easily navigate the straightforward control screens. So pretty fun.
And with this Moxie, you control the settings by toggling through with the handlebars. So I always feel like I'm playing a remote control game or something when I'm doing it. So it's a lot of fun.
It is. It is a lot of fun. Okay. Now, this is my favorite part that comes in the accessory kit. It's the how to quilt kit. And we had a lot of fun actually developing this for brand new quilters because we know often you're like, okay, I've got this great machine, it's set up. I've even had some education and training from my local retailer, but how do I get started? So let's open this up because this kit comes with everything that you need. It comes with a yard of fabric, and this fabric has a grid on it so you can easily practice designs.
Yeah, it's really great because a lot of times when we start out quilting, you have all of this open space and it's a little bit intimidating. So this grid fabric is really nice to practice on because it limits you to a certain area and you feel that and then you move on to the next one. So it's great for learning different techniques.
Yeah, especially because we know too often when you're getting started quilting, you don't necessarily want to put on that quilt top that you've been holding off on quilting for a few years. You want to have something to practice on. So this grid fabric is really great for that. Then we have this, this piece of paper here that is our Now It's Time to Quilt. And we, here in the education studio, we have a set of designs that we always teach people when they're learning how to quilt. And we put them on this document here. So we've got just our basic, we walk you through the 5 basic designs that we teach. So you can just have this right there by you while you're working through your first time quilting. Now, in addition to the fabric, in this, we also have a selection of threads from Superior Threads. So you can try out a bunch of different threads. And we have pins so that you can go ahead and get everything pinned to your leaders and get started. So the only 2 ingredients that are missing is some backing and some batting. And if you're a quilter, you've definitely got that kicking around your studio, right?
So let's just reiterate that. When you purchase a Moxie, you're going to get your machine, you're going to get the frame, you're going to get this accessory kit, which includes some top fabric and thread and a bobbin. So you have everything that you need to just get started and get going.
Exactly.
Except for the backing and the batting.
Yeah.
Also in there, or not in this box, but another thing that is included is the bobbin winder.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So you have everything you need to go with this machine. I'm going to hand this to you, and we'll go ahead and set that over there.
Okay.
So the Moxy, a great entry level, budget friendly machine. It really is. It's a fantastic machine. So now, if you're interested in elevating your quilting experience, moving on to something with maybe a few more bells and whistles, we can step up to the next machine in the Moxy family. So we'll take a look here. We'll just scoot that one over out of the way. We'll bring this one over. This is the Moxy XL.
The XL is fabulous. It's got an 18-inch throat space. It has extra lighting. One of my favorite things is our color touch screen here. And you can use that to change your settings. So this is great because you can choose if you want to be manual mode, where you are in charge of the stitch regulation. You make the stitches long or short as you want. Or you can go into stitch regulation. And I always joke, okay, we paid for this, we're going to use it.
Exactly.
So stitch regulation, you have a couple of different options there. And you can change your stitch length, your lighting, like all sorts of fun things that you can play with.
You can actually
Kim's going to play.
I was going to say, I'm going to play a little bit. So we always have the lighting turned off when we're filming because it's really, really bright. So we'll go ahead and turn this all the way up so you can see how much lighting we have here. You can see that that is so bright. It's like whiting my hand completely out here on film. So it's fantastic though, because it is adjustable. So depending on how much light you need for that project, you can make that work exactly the way you need to. So we're going to turn that back off while we're filming. But yeah, it's fun to play with all those different things. Both of these machines, actually all the machines in the Moxy family come with 2 different feet. So they come with the closed toe foot and the open toe foot. And then you can change and use the entire range of handy feet with all of these different machines too. And I think we actually have one of the feet here, right? We wanted to show you how easy it is to change the feet on these machines. So Kristina,
you want to go ahead and play?
Yeah, let's do that. And then we can talk about some of the other fun things that we can do with this machine. So you can do rulers on either one of these machines. And if we want to do rulers, we want to be sure and use a ruler base, which is an accessory that you can add to either one of these machines. There's also a second component, isn't there, Kristina, for using rulers?
The foot.
The foot.
So are we going to do rulers now?
Why don't we do rulers first? And then we can, I know.
It's time to play.
So,
okay. So we're going to change over here, and I am going to use my fun little hex wrench, loosen that up. And it's always fun doing this on film where people are watching. Okay, I just popped that foot off. I'm going to take my new foot and pop it on.
Lift it up just a little bit.
And tighten down that screw.
So it's really easy to change the handy feet. It's nice because there's a perfect foot depending on the type of quilting you're doing. It's easy to switch those feet back and forth. So once you have that on there, the Surefoot, it has a taller profile here on the side of it. You can see that it's higher compared to if I put the regular closed-toed foot here, you can see that that one is much lower. This one's a little taller on the side so that you can protect those rulers. So we want to show, let's go ahead and show how to pop the ruler base on.
Ruler base.
We got the ruler base here.
I'm going to just sneak underneath here.
Pop that baby on.
Got lots of batting here.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We can do a little bit of stitching here.
So with that ruler base, I've got that much more space of a flat surface so that I can keep my ruler in position there. Okay. First thing I need to do is put this into free motion.
Yeah, I think you're there. Yeah. Okay. So you can go ahead and do some stitching. Using rulers is really fun when you are free motion quilting. Rulers give you that like next level of precision. If you want to have precise and consistent circles, rulers are really great for that. If you want to have a specific curve, very straight lines, that is what rulers are really great for. So Kristina, you're going to do a little bit of stitching here for us?
I went and I got a straight edge ruler.
Okay.
And I'm just going to bump that up against that foot. And you guys are going to have to tell me if you can see anything because my back is to the cameras. So I'm going to change my settings, just changing the speed down a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm just going to stitch in the ditch along here.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think we can see a little bit of that there.
Okay. I always
over.
stop with the needle in the down position
Mhm.
whenever I'm going to move the ruler. Stitching along that purple and up to the other side.
Nice little stitch in the ditch action going on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very, very nice. Okay.
Okay.
So adding rulers to any of these machines, being able to use that ruler base and using different rulers is really great. Let's take a minute and talk about what I like to call the ultimate accessory that you can add to either a Moxy or a Moxy XL, and that is Pro Stitcher Lite. And both of these machines that we have set up here have Pro Stitcher Lite on them. You guys can see the tablet here. So the Pro Stitcher is our robotic system, and it includes the tablet, which I think is the most visible part of the system. And then there's also gears that you add to the
carriage underneath.
Yeah. So it's that, you know, hands-free quilting, look ma, no hands sort of a thing. Pro Stitcher Lite is really great. It comes with over 300 designs, so you can get stitching quickly once you get it set up. It's really easy to set up, and you'll have all of those amazing designs right at your fingertips, ready to finish more quilts.
Yep. Let's have the camera zoom in over here, and we can show some of these designs that we've already stitched out using our Pro Stitcher. And those are just the designs that came with the library.
These are just some that are included in the library, some of the different block designs. So we've got some fun ones here.
That white one, you used one of the other features in Pro Stitcher.
I used Move to do this one. So Move is a really fun feature. It allows you to do all kinds of straight line quilting. And as you can see, it's not just straight vertically and horizontally. It is also diagonally, which is really fun.
45 degrees.
Yes, exactly. So,
well, now, I don't think that people are here to watch us talk about all of these machines and
I think
watching us stitch. They're waiting for the big announcement.
The big announcement.
Should we just get to it?
I think we should. I think we should. So should we move over
here? Let's
move over here. So we want to introduce to everyone the newest member of the Moxy family, the Moxy ST. Voila! Such a great machine.
And we just pulled all of your thread off.
I guess I get to rethread on film again.
Maybe we can catch it.
Maybe we can. Maybe we should just grab the scissors and clip it and we'll start over again. So this is the Moxy ST. ST stands for stationary. So this machine is going to feel really familiar if you've been quilting on your home machine. But it's got some great advantages over quilting on your home machine. Number one, this amazing 18 inches of throat space. As a matter of fact, I'm going to sit down here.
One of the things
that's nice about it, you can sit down and get comfortable at this machine. So we've got 18 inches of quilting space, meaning I can have a nice big quilt, just like the one I have here, set up. And I have lots of room, both horizontally and vertically, for space, so that when I'm quilting here, right here at the needle, everything is nice and flat and it stays that way.
Out of all three of these machines, this one has the largest quiltable space because it doesn't have the bars from the frame in the way.
Exactly.
So you've got this full 18 inches that you can work in.
Absolutely.
So really get those long arms going. long arm quilter.
Long arm quilting, new definition. So one of the great things about the Moxy ST is this table that it comes on. So this is the insight table, which has built-in stitch regulation. So if I scoot this quilt here out of the way, you can see that we've got 2 stitch regulators here on either side of the needle.
Let's turn
and
off
I'm
those
going to
lights.
turn the lights off so we don't get that lovely strobing effect. Sorry about that, everyone. But these 2 sensors here, what they do is they read the movement of the fabric so that we get that nice, beautiful stitch regulation that Handy Quilter is really known for.
I love it.
It is.
Okay,
it's great.
You're talking about the insight table. So let's talk about the size of this. This is a 38 inch
square.
And that might be larger than your domestic machine, but maybe you want it even bigger. So you can add the table extensions onto one or both sides. And that if you've got 2 of them on there, that doubles the amount of space that you have to work in.
Exactly.
And if you look at this quilt that's sitting here, you'll notice it's not hanging down and pulling and stuff. you've got a lot of room there to keep those big, huge quilts and not have them be in your way or pulling.
Have them managed. You can picture yourself here quilting instead of cramming that quilt through that tiny little space on your domestic machine. Look at all this space you have. And one of the nice things about this with the table extensions, they easily fold down, and you can even add casters to this table so that you can tuck this into the corner of your room. I know a lot of us as quilters, space is a big issue, isn't it, Kristina?
It is.
And this, with a 38-inch footprint, it fits easily in the corner of, say, even like your dining room or a guest bedroom, somewhere like that. If you don't happen to have a dedicated quilting space, this will fit in the corner of pretty much any room. Yeah. And you can just tuck it out of the way and then pull it out when you need it.
Yep. Okay, so you ready to sew?
Yeah, let's do some stitching on this. Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of rethreading here.
Oh, yes.
So let me we're going to do the good old trick here.
Here's your other end.
So one of the cool things that we did, I'm going to actually hand this to you and let you do that. So
this is a trick.
One of the cool things the engineer snuck in here on the ST is they had a little magnet right here in the side of this plastic piece on the front, and it holds your scissors right there. Isn't that cool? It's one of those things that we were like, how can we make this even better for quilters? So it's great. We've got a little spot that we can have our our scissors just nice and taken care of there. Okay, let's pull this out of the way.
Having slight thread issues here.
I think
did we tie the right ones together?
I think we did.
Okay.
I just gotta. Yep, there we go.
Okay, make sure.
Just had to make sure it was threaded correctly. Oh, and you guys, it is such a good day. Look at that. I even pulled the knot through.
Dang, I was hoping you have to thread the needle.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's ask some questions. I'll get started on some stitching here, and go ahead and throw a question our way.
So what's the difference between this and the Simply 16?
Oh,
okay. The Simply 16 is actually a frame-mounted machine. Okay, we've also got, in the past, we had a Sweet 16, which was a stationary machine. So with stationary machines, you are moving the fabric. Whereas the frame mounted, like the Simply 16, you are actually moving the machine. So.
Okay, and can you use Pro Stitcher with this?
Can you use Pro Stitcher with this machine? No. Pro Stitcher only works on the frame mounted machine. So the Moxy and the Moxy XL that we just showed you both have Pro Stitcher available. This one, you get to have the joy of putting your hands on the fabric and doing that quilting yourself. You get to enjoy the process.
And can you use rulers with this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, should we grab a ruler and we can show using a ruler with this one?
Yep.
So the biggest difference in using rulers on a stationary machine versus a frame-mounted machine is that the ruler moves at the same time as the fabric. So it's a little bit different from that perspective, but one of the advantages you have is the fact that you can turn the quilt in any direction. So you don't have to do some of the, do we want to call that ruler gymnastics?
I call it contortionist work.
There we go. So I can go ahead and change.
And you'll
this
notice
foot really
that
quick.
with this machine, this particular quilt, everything has been pinned together. So it's already basted with the 3 layers. So you will need to baste your material with your quilt top, with your batting and your backing. You can use pins, basting spray, whatever technique you use for basting.
Yep. You could even use this machine to baste with by going down to 4 stitches per inch and just doing a really long stitch over the whole thing.
Okay.
So, okay.
Get this out of your way.
So I've put my Sherpa on here because the Sherpa is always a good idea when you're doing any kind of ruler work. It just protects those rulers.
Unlike the frame-mounted machines, you don't have to purchase the additional ruler base with this one because you've already got the table.
That's exactly right. Okay, I am going to go ahead and pull up my bobbin thread. We always like to do that anytime we're doing any kind of quilting. And I'm going to clip some threads. And then on the large touch screen here, I can easily do a couple of locking stitches and then leave it so that my needle will stop in the down position so that when I stop quilting, It will change. One of the things I love about the ST is I have the ability to start quilting either using the foot pedal or a play pause button that's right on the screen. So I can just use whichever method is easiest for me to do. So when I'm quilting with a ruler, I'm just holding that ruler right there alongside, and then I'll go ahead and shift. And I'm doing some quilting just like Kristina did, some stitch in the ditch here with my rulers. So do we have any other questions about this new machine?
Yes, and repeat the question after me.
Okay.
Oh. Does the ruler foot come with the Moxie ST? Or does it come with the kit?
Okay, the sure foot is the
Wait,
foot.
repeat the question.
Okay, sorry. We're going to repeat the question. You asked if the ruler foot comes with these machines.
Mm-hmm.
No, the sure foot, which is the foot we use for ruler work, is an additional purchase.
It's so the 2 feet that come with the all of the entire Moxie family is the closed toe foot and the open toe foot. So both of those come with the sure foot, and there's a lot of other feet that are included in the Handy Quilter family of handy feet. You can use all of them on all 3 of these machines.
Yeah,
we've got couching feet,
you beat me to it. The micro foot,
the glide
echo
foot,
foot,
the echo feet, the square feet,
Yep.
the felting foot. Trying to think
Yep.
if there's anything else I'm missing.
I think we got them.
I think we got them all. So it's great. There's a foot for all types of quilting, and having the right foot really makes your quilting projects that much easier.
Yep.
All right, next question.
Okay.
Are we good to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Could you talk about proper body alignment as you sit down at the machine?
Oh,
Proper body alignment when you're sitting at the machine.
Okay.
So we didn't talk earlier, but this table is height adjustable. So you're going to want to adjust to the height that you're at. You're also on a stool that's height adjustable. So you can play around with that, but you take over because you've got the arm positioning.
I've got the arm positioning
We're
here.
both doing the arm
So
flaps.
I know what we're doing. The thing that I really recommend, I quilted on a stationary machine for a lot of years. One of the things that's important is making sure that your arms are at a nearly 90-degree angle, but you don't necessarily want them to be exactly straight out, maybe down just a little bit. So to be perfectly honest, this table right now is maybe just a little bit low for me. But one way that you can easily fix this is to get, as Kristina mentioned, have an adjustable stool, and you can change the height that you're sitting at. One of the things I would recommend is if you're going to be quilting all day long, to actually adjust your seat slightly in height. At least once an hour. It'll help prevent you from getting sore shoulders because you're at exactly the same angle all day long.
Yep. I second that.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
always want to adjust it. Okay, we got another question.
How sensitive is the foot pedal?
How sensitive is the foot pedal? The foot pedal is pretty sensitive. So one of the nice things is the foot pedal works in conjunction with the sensors. So depending on whether I'm using precision or cruise mode, depends on how quickly that needle starts moving. If I'm using cruise, which actually the machine is in right now, the minute I put the foot pedal down, it starts rotating. So you can see that there. If I change it to precision, if I push the foot pedal down, I actually have to start moving the fabric for it to move up and down. If I'm not moving the fabric, it doesn't move. So depending on the mode you're in, can change that feel just a little bit.
Yep. And I love that you can use the on-screen to start and stop too.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Does it have a thread cutter?
Does it have a thread cutter? No, it doesn't have a thread cutter.
But it does have the little magnetic part there for your scissors.
So there's your thread cutters right there.
And then please explain the locking stitches on the menu.
Okay, the locking stitches. So what that means is it's like the equivalent of doing like a back stitch on your domestic machine. So on the screen, we've got a needle down, needle up. And if I just tap that needle down, it will actually move that needle up and down. So if I tap that a few times, and it will just take a stitch slightly in place, or it can even move the fabric just a little bit, it will lock those stitches in place, just like when you're back tacking on a domestic machine. Okay, yes.
I've already said this one, but we've had this question a few more times. What's the difference between the Moxie and the Sweet 16 machine?
So what's the difference between the Moxie and the Sweet 16 machine? So the Sweet 16 was...
Yeah. Earlier, we talked about the Simply
Mhm.
16. So now we're talking about the Sweet 16, which is a stationary machine like this Moxy ST.
Mhm.
It had a 16-inch throat space. So
Mhm.
this one's got a larger throat space by 2 inches.
Yep.
More
it has
lighting.
more lighting, yeah.
Yep.
Way more
Which
lighting.
is turned off right now because you
Yes.
saw it strobing. But
Yes.
yeah, so it's got a lot more lighting.
And it has built-in stitch regulation. It's it's got a higher stitches per minute too for the stitch regulation is the difference
So-
between the two.
Would it be okay to say like the Sweet 16 on steroids would be the ST?
I actually would agree with that. It's
Extra bells and whistles.
a little more
Yep.
more in all respects. Yep.
Okay.
All right, they'd like to see more quilting.
You want to see more quilting? Oh boy, am I the one on the spot today? Okay,
Oh,
so
you're in the hot seat.
everybody wants to see more quilting. Okay, so
want me
let's
to take the
do some
rulers
more. Yeah,
away?
I'm gonna let you do that, and
Do you want a different foot or are you good with that?
No, I'm fine. We can just leave this one on. That way I
Okay.
don't have to break my thread again. So let's just go ahead and do some quilting. And I'll just do something really basic here.
Okay, while she's quilting, I'm going to ask our viewers to send in some kind of a design they want to have Kim do.
No,
'cause
no,
I
no,
always
no.
get put in the hot seat. It's payback time.
And I'm quilting some beautiful meander with loops. I think that might be as fancy as we get, especially if I have to talk while I'm on screen.
Now you guys will notice that Kim's hand placement, she's got her hands splayed out pretty well,
Mhm.
keeping them straight forward, not rotating the fabric so much. That helps to keep that stitch regulation.
And one of the things that's important is if you need to do a big movement of your hand while you're stitching, you need to do some readjusting of the quilt. Be sure to stop the machine with the needle in the down position, make the adjustments you need to. If I even wanted to, say, for example, turn the quilt a little bit so that I can get to the part I want to quilt at just a little bit more, do all of that before you start stitching again.
Yep.
Then you have a nice clear space again to just keep working through the stitching.
So what mode are you in right now?
I am in cruise at 12 stitches per inch, and I'm doing 425.
Speed of 425.
Yep.
Okay, I believe we had another question come in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does the table move or does the quilt move or both?
The table does not move, it's stationary,
Mhm.
and the machine. So the only thing that is moving is the quilt top.
Yep.
And the question was, I'm horrible at repeating the question. Does the table move? Not while you're stitching, but if you need to move it like within your house to a different area, you can put casters on and easily move it around. But during the actual quilting, this table does not move.
One good way to think of the difference of quilting on a stationary machine versus a frame-mounted machine. On a stationary machine, it's the equivalent of moving the paper under the pencil. When you're quilting on a frame-mounted machine, it's like moving the pencil over the paper. That's kind of the difference between the two.
Yep. Hey,
Any
another
other
question?
questions?
I'd love to see loops and swirls.
Loops and swirls.
Oh,
Well,
come
I've
on,
already
you guys
been
are being
doing
too
that.
easy on her.
Loops and swirls. You guys are my kind of people. Loops and swirls. I can do loops and swirls all day long.
I think Brienne has your back over there.
Thanks, Brienne. Yeah, no. Not if I have to talk while I'm quilting. Sorry.
We do a flower.
My talents only go so far of talking and quilting. It's kind of like that old, chewing gum, walking, doing other things at the same time. I can only do so many things well at one time. So sorry. All right. Well,
Okay.
any other questions about the Moxy ST? If not,
Well, I'm just excited to have the ST in our new lineup. It's going to be a great addition to the family.
absolutely.
Again, another question.
Yeah.
Can you show another ruler that isn't square?
Oh, sure.
So repeat the question.
Okay, we want to show a ruler that isn't square. So Kristina just grabbed this one for me. It's called the HQ Kirby, and it's got some nice curves on the side here. let's go ahead and do some,
Do you need to unpin anything?
no, I think I'll finish a little loop here and I'll go down to this corner. And then how about if I do some, sorry, got to do a little readjusting of the quilt here. All right, we'll line this up. How about if I do some continuous curve around this corner here?
Perfect.
I'm going to pop the pin back in the middle here.
And there are other accessories that you can purchase that are helpful with holding the quilt in position and moving it around, and also holding the rulers. We've got our sweet spots, our paddles. We also have machiners. So there's lots of fun things out there that can help hold things in place.
Exactly. Machiners or gloves, they're actually my go-to when I quilt on a stationary machine. Oh, and I'm going to pop
Okay,
that pin
so why
out.
don't you just show them how you can turn the quilt, and then you don't have to do your contortionist work.
There we go.
Oops.
Oh, here you go. Let's do that. Okay, so I can actually turn the quilt here. Actually, you know what? On this side is actually the easier side to do it, but I can turn the quilt. Show you guys. So this is one of the great things about using a stationary machine is you can turn the quilt, so it's always the easiest way to do it. So I can turn
And again,
it
this
like
position
that.
might not be her easiest, but
It's
for
fine.
demonstration purposes,
It works. There we go.
lovely.
So I just did a nice continuous curve there around the outside of that block. So nice and easy. All right, I'm going to turn
Okay.
this back around so it's supported
Any more
on the
questions?
table.
Are we good?
What feet will fit this machine?
All of the handy feet.
Yeah,
Maybe
all
the
of
question.
What
the hand-
feet? I'll learn someday. What feet can you use on these machines? All three of the Moxy machines, you can use all of the handy quilter feet with them.
Yep.
So we went over them earlier, the Echo feet, the square feet, the glide foot, the micro foot, the couching feet, the sure foot, and felting foot, and the two that come with it, open toe and closed
closed toe
toe.
foot. Yep.
All right, are you able to move the material with the foot in the up position while the needle is in the down position?
If the needle's down, you're not going to be okay. So the question
Yes,
is,
I wasn't the only one.
the question is, are you able to move the fabric if your needle's down but the foot is up? So the answer is no. If the needle's down in the fabric, you don't want to move it because you could potentially rip your fabric. Can you rotate the fabric around the needle? Absolutely. I mean, I was just doing that. The foot is down, but it's not that there's so much pressure that you can't still turn the quilt if you need to reposition it a little.
Yep.
So any other questions that we have? Brianne's looking furiously through the comments over here.
We should make Jacob turn the camera on the behind the scenes people right now.
Or maybe not.
And they don't like my idea.
Any other questions? You can ask the people on there.
Yeah, any other questions that anybody has? If not, we can go ahead and one of the things we always like to talk about with our machines is the education and support. It's one of the things that Handy Quilter is best known for. Every machine that we sell comes with education and training. So you will connect you with a local retailer and you'll have an opportunity to get trained on how to use this machine. And then you'll always be able to go back to them for more support after the service. We also have a lot of great videos online. Kristina and I do a new video every week that comes out on Tuesdays at noon on our YouTube channel. So there's tons and tons and tons of education available.
Let me mention that real quick before we jump to the next question. Along with those videos, a lot of the videos are filmed on different lines of machines, and they all work the same.
Yep.
So don't think, oh, it's not the Moxy, I can't watch that video. It's the same techniques. So all of the videos will apply. So what was the other question?
So the other thing we wanted to mention is this machine will start shipping in August. So in just a few short weeks, if you're interested in adding a Moxy to your quilting studio, August is when it could happen for you.
Yep.
So be sure to visit your local Handy Quilter retailer for more details, or you can go to handyquilter.com. Do we have any other final questions, or are we wrapping things up here?
People have asked if they can move this onto a traditional frame?
Okay, so that's a really good question. Okay, people have asked, if I buy this machine on this table and then someday I decide I have enough room to put it on a frame like the XL or the Moxy over here, can I do that? And the answer is yes, you absolutely can. We have a kit that we sell because we know sometimes things change. You move into a bigger house, you have kids move out, and all of a sudden you've got a room available to turn into a quilting studio. So absolutely yes is the answer to that question. Yep, you just got to buy a kit and a frame and you can make it happen.
Or for those that are like snowbirds that have multiple homes and you don't want to buy two heads, you could get like a table at one place, a frame at another place. You will have to do some of the changing out of parts, but you can take them back and forth.
Yep, exactly. We have lots of creative quilters out there that figure out how to make it work.
What is the throat size on the ST?
So the question is, what is the throat size on the ST? So it is 18 inches from the needle to the back of the throat here. So you got 18 inches of space to put those quilts in. You can do a really big quilt on this machine and not have it bunching up around the needle at all, which is fantastic.
And then do you want to give them a little, if they like this kind of live engagement, when can they get this live engagement elsewhere, like on Tuesdays?
Okay.
Okay, so the live engagement, like today we are live, like answering questions, making fools of ourselves. Most of our videos we pre-record, but we are on the computer answering questions live. And so those are our watch and learn shows. They air on Tuesdays at 12 Mountain Time.
Exactly. And we're always live on that original premiere. It's pretty fun. There's a group of people that are always on there. And then there's another group of people that just kind of seem to rotate in and out. So if you happen to have time, be sure and join us at noon Mountain Time. And it's a live chat. You can ask Kristina and I any questions you have, or even just say hi, tell us where you're from, tell us what the weather's like.
You get a lot of that.
We get a lot of that, and it's fun. It's fun to interact with you. So be sure and join us then.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I think we've covered everything with the machines, don't we?
Yep. I think my biggest piece of advice, though, is if you are interested in one of these machines, find your local Handy Quilter retailer. If you don't know where that is, you can go to handyquilter.com and there's a store locator, and go into the shop and test drive the machines. Like actually get in there and stitch on them. See if you like moving the fabric, see if you like moving the machine. Find what's going to be the most comfortable for you and what will fit in your space and your budget.
Exactly. Well, we just want to say thank you so much for joining us today. I want to end in our normal way.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
And have fun quilting.